And now, reporting for Outside the Lines, Bob Lee.
Today, breaking news outside the lines, allegations that strike at the heart of a very successful U.S. Olympic sport and the most famous tandem of gymnastics coaches in the world. A civil lawsuit filed 90 minutes ago alleges that Bella and Marta Caroli enabled years of sexual abuse by a long-standing team physician who was fired last year by U.S. Gymnastics. That doctor, Larry Nassar, was also fired 5 weeks ago by Michigan State University. In Lansing, more than 30 allegations of criminal sexual conduct have been filed in the past 2 months connected to an address where Nassar treated patients. Nassar had been under investigation by the FBI. He is currently the subject of a probe by the Michigan State Attorney General. Much of the original reporting of the allegations against Nassar have come from the Indianapolis Star. OTL's John Barr is now reporting today that lawsuit filed today in California Superior Court alleges that Nassar, who worked with U.S. Gymnastics for 29 years, sexually assaulted an unnamed former member of the U.S. women's gymnastics team during medical examinations. That charge echoes another recent lawsuit and interviews conducted by the Star with 5 women. But importantly, today's lawsuit filed in California also alleges that Bella and Marta Caroli, the internationally renowned husband and wife gymnastics coaches, physically abused gymnasts, scratching them to the point of drawing blood, also verbally abused them about their body appearance, and allegedly deprived gymnasts of food and water. All of this is online at ESPN.com. Under the byline of John Barr, who now joins me. All right, John, we've reported the highlights from the suit. You've been reporting this throughout. We've mentioned Dr. Larry Nassar, Bella and Marta Caroli, U.S. Gymnastics. We've been seeking responses. What have you learned?
Well, we've reached out to Dr. Nassar's attorneys, made USA Gymnastics aware of the latest allegations within the lawsuit, including for the first time that Bella and Marta Caroli are named as defendants along with Dr. Nassar. We also reached out to others who are named in the lawsuit. To date, we've only connected with Marta Caroli. I was able to speak with her at the ranch where many of these sexual assaults are alleged to have occurred, the famed ranch that has trained so many medalists through the years. She said that she can't comment on any legal matters, and she abruptly hung up the phone. USA Gymnastics has the lawsuit. And they're working on providing some sort of comment to us, but thus far we've not received it, Bob, and we've not heard from Nassar's attorneys beyond the comments they made to me that are contained within that ESPN.com story.
All right, so there are a number of parties named in this action. Let's concentrate now on Dr. Larry Nassar. 29 years first as a trainer, then as an osteopathic physician involved with USA Gymnastics. Some of this is adult stuff. Hang in with us, folks. But how allegedly did he use his position to assault these young girls? And they were just that. They were girls.
Well, he's described by many people as a very engaging figure. According to the lawsuit and the allegations spelled out within the lawsuit, the Carolis had a very intimidating atmosphere there. They engaged not only in emotional but physical abuse. The allegation is that Dr. Nassar was sort of the good cop to their bad cop, that he would try to ingratiate himself to groom, according to the lawsuit, these alleged victims by providing them food and candy, sneaking it to them when it was forbidden by the Carolis, according to the lawsuit. He used that type of leverage, according to the lawsuit, to gain the trust of the victims. And then during medical exams, he performed what's known as intravaginal and in some cases intrarectal treatments where he inserted, according to the lawsuit, his ungloved fingers into the vaginas and rectums of these young girls who were minors. This is a young girl who was a minor. Now, believe it or not, that is actually an accepted form of treatment within the osteopathic community. I've spoken with a number of doctors, but those doctors tell me never without gloves and never without adult supervision. And it's alleged that Nassar did just that, without gloves, without adult supervision, even talking in one case allegedly about oral sex. The allegation is that he did these quote-unquote exams for his own sexual gratification, Bob.
All right, then there's the question of who knew what and when, coming down to the allegations against Dr. Larry Nassar, who was, fired in 2015 by U.S. Gymnastics and fired just 5 weeks ago or so by Michigan State. What is that landscape like? Who did know what, and who's saying what about that?
Well, we know Michigan State investigated Nassar in April of 2014 after a then former student filed a complaint with Michigan State Police. They launched a police investigation, turned it over to the prosecutor's office. The prosecutor decided not to file charges. They also launched a Title IX investigation, by the way, and found no evidence of misconduct. He was temporarily suspended from treating patients at that time. But Michigan State never picked up the phone, according to USA Gymnastics, and called USA Gymnastics, where Nassar was serving as the team doctor. Similarly, in the summer of 2015, when gymnasts, part of the national team, gymnasts, came to USA Gymnastics and made complaints about sexual misconduct during medical exams, USA Gymnastics never picked up the phone and called Michigan State. So it was a situation where you have these two large institutions, neither of whom speaking to the other, and the net effect is, even after Nassar was let go, fired by USA Gymnastics in the summer of 2015, he continued to practice medicine for nearly a year at Michigan State, Bob.
In about 30 seconds here, the prospect or the possibility of criminal charges here. What are those? Because we understand, as I reported at the top, the AG of Michigan is looking into this. The FBI had been investigating. Where does all that stand?
Yes, dozens of women have come forward, mostly regional club-level gymnasts in the Michigan area where he practiced medicine. The Attorney General's office in the state of Michigan took over the case because of the sprawling nature of it. There is no statute of limitations on criminal sexual conduct, and those are the allegations, the charges, if you will. I should stress, though, he has not been criminally charged. There have been dozens of police reports filed under that possible charge, but he's not been criminally charged. There's no statute, so they could take months to actually charge him, Bob.
Yeah, that was a civil suit filed today, at least the second in this matter, and of course now the inclusion of the Carollis in the allegations. John Barr, thanks, and again, his reporting rich in detail on those allegations online. Please check it out at ESPN.com. Next up.